Hello Exiles, welcome back to the channel. As always, I am happy to see you here because we need to talk about an S tier build which I have tested so far through to the end game and rated it for its ability to bulldoze through mob packs of any size as well as boss burning abilities. In addition, I considered how expensive and difficult it is to find the proper items to build the class, and let me tell you, it is mind-blowingly cheap. I have linked the original creators page below, so I will only be showcasing and talking about what I found to be the most important aspects of the build, and from there you guys can discover the rest on your own. So without further ado, let's jump in. First off, we have got to talk about the Flaming Minion Witch. It has a little slow start, but after Act 1 and the access to Minion Arsonist, the game pretty much becomes easy mode. As for the build, it will run you about 8 to 12 exalts, which I wouldn't spend until at least hitting level 40 or somewhere around the end of Act 3 when you start feeling the pressure pushing back on you. When looking for items, also consider that one of the passive ascension perks turns all damage taken into fire damage, except for, of course, physical, which goes into the damage I hate talking about the most. But just keep this in mind because you literally can just narrow down the item search into fire resist and change the other modifiers to suit your needs. And speaking of those modifiers, you obviously will want to go ham on the fire resistance once you get your second ascension perk, that is. But the next big thing is going to be reduced attribute requirements. This will make it cheaper for you to build a huge minion army. Of course, Mana Regeneration, and the final two we will look at a bit closer, which are level to minion skills and spirit. The bread and butter of this build is overskilling your arsonist minions. Basically, you want minions that are like 8 to 10 levels above the highest possible skill level by the end game. However, this will become very expensive because only 3 items will roll this modifier and only 2 of them are relatively cheap. That is your head and your weapon. My advice here is to start off with a +3 weapon and a +2 headpiece. Of course, you can get these skills higher, but anything over what I recommended, and we're talking about 30 to 60 exalts. Staying with my recommendation, we are more in the ballpark of 2 to 3 exalts. So you literally can clean the map with it. You don't really need those extra levels while going through Acts 1 through 6. The oddball item here in this build is the shield, which can roll a -25% attribute reduction modifier, and it gives you a good defensive option to raise the shield and block ranged attackers while your minions burn through them. An alternative to the shield, be it a more expensive one, is the Trench Timber unique one-handed mace, which offers more minion skill levels, which you can put in your offhand, thus more damage, but be ready to pay. Every so often I see it put up there for 2 or 3 exalts, but once I try to buy it, it always gets pushed up in price. So if you can get it, I mean, it's a good option. However, the shield works well because it gives you defensives and keeps you alive. So I will leave a checklist below in the description, which is going to detail all of these searchable terms for you to find when you go to the trade house, so you don't have to keep coming back and remembering. So just look down in the description. You can copy and paste them and put them in there, and then adjust the multipliers accordingly to what is actually popping up on the list. Playing this class is super easy. You more or less only need 4 skills, and those skills will legit scorch the entire map. My layout goes as follows. My left mouse button, I put Detonate Dead. My center mouse button, I put Pain Offering. Right mouse is Flame Wall. Q is flammability. Those 4 are your bread and butter, pretty much is all you really need. Now, I do put shield block on my R button so that when I am receiving range damage, I just push the R, hold up the shield until my minions destroy them. And you will notice that on my build, I also have Contagion, which I place on the E button. Now, on the main build guide, he doesn't have Contagion. I just keep it because I find that extra dot helps me burn the boss and big, large packs of mobs a lot quicker. My rotation goes as follows. Flame Wall all mobs. Then pop Flammability on the largest pack. Pop a Contagion on the weakest mob, and then hold left mouse button down and watch dead bodies blow up as Detonate Dead gets spammed. If it's a super large group, you can drop Pain Offering somewhere around there, and all things just basically go quicker. Remember that you have a shield block and that it only takes a few seconds to kill things, so don't be scared to lift up the old board and, block a few ranged shots. For boss fights, the rotation is the same, except instead of detonating dead, I drop the Pain Offering on cooldown and maintain Flammability and Contagion dots on the boss throughout the whole thing, and my minions do the rest of the work. As for the support gems, I just follow what our good friend Majestic has laid out for us, and I advise you to do the same. This build is easy, and it will get you to mapping stages and beyond. If you look at the way that Majestic has laid out his builds, you will have no problem in in-games burning through everything. I hope everybody likes this class and that you are able to use it and build it. Let me know down below if there's any problems that you find in it, or if there's any alternatives that you think would work a lot better. Overall, guys, thanks again for coming. Remember to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it is the world to me. Love you guys. See you later.